All right. Yes.
Welcome, everybody. Hello, welcome to this inspiration call on Sunday, April 11th. Hello, it's so good to see you. Hello, Judy. Hello, Joel, Ellen. Hello, Elizabeth, Stefan.
Hi,
Good morning. Good morning, darling.
Good.
Hi, everybody.
Cornelia, oh my gosh, it's such a gorgeous day here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I hope that wherever you are, evening or afternoon or morning, that it's a beautiful day for you as well. So just to get started, let's see, let's put what you're grateful for today in the chat. If you could just put what you're grateful for in the chat. One thing that I am so grateful for are so many opportunities out there. I had the blessing, so many blessings and miracles are unfolding for me right now. They're coming fast and furious. I can't even count them. It's so exciting. So I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Detox tea, grateful for y'all. I love that, for y'all. Sounds like a little Southern. Thank you, you beautiful soul. The sunshine, the sky, the opportunity of service. Awesome.
You know, Jana, I never thought I'd be grateful for having the opportunity to wake up at 7:30 on Sunday morning, but now I'm just so looking forward to this call. It's so wonderful.
Gary, we love it when you're here. Just your presence is so amazing. So we're just so grateful for you. So grateful that you are waking up so early in the morning. Great. Who would like to did anybody have anything that they'd like to share? Something that's happened last week? Or if so, just unmute and go ahead and speak. Denny says that she is grateful for Jill and more of Gary. So Gary, so grateful for you. Love that. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share? How about you, Chris? Yes, hello, Chris.
How are ya? How is
Good,
everybody?
how are you?
Well, I'm very excited. We had such a great couple of days when Dr. Clint was here and with Dr. Steven. And Linda Johnson is actually headed over to my house right now to join in the call with us because her computer is not working. So I'm excited that we'll be together on the call. So
Awesome.
Awesome.
So great. I love that I love seeing those pictures of you guys with Dr. Clint. I love seeing all the connection that you guys have. Can you tell me anything that stood out for you during the clinic?
I mean, the love that was shared and watching people change over the couple of days.
Amazing, isn't it? How beautiful when the good-heartedness is so pure. It just is contagious. It's what I love about what happens when Clint's around. So beautiful.
Just the change in Chris. Chris looks like a totally different person than I saw even at the clinic. She just blossomed. She came in a couple of days later, we cleaned up and her eyes were shining and her skin was shining. And she just, like she took off a wet blanket. She looked just amazing just walking in. She's there for us now.
People were raving about that clinic, Dr. Steve. I so look forward to meeting you one day.
We've met already.
Oh no, don't tell me that. You never met me. I've changed. I've shed so many layers.
Maybe
the new Gary has not been met with you yet.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen. Dr.
Can
Stephen, is there anything else? Yes, go ahead, please. Martha.
Okay, thank you for letting me speak. So my life has completely transformed. I think I'm probably going to be in tears in 2 seconds. Dr. Steve, who I just met a few months ago, introduced me to Dr. Clint, and I drove 5 hours. I've never driven 5 hours anyplace. You know, I have chauffeurs, I have kids or grandchildren. I don't need to drive, but I was on a mission because I'm eating this mung bean soup and I'm just on a mission because my whole system has cleaned up and cleared up. And I thought I was cleaned up and cleared up, but it's just different. So I get to Syracuse, I get the tour of Syracuse by Steve, and oh my God, I'm in love with Syracuse. Then we go to the clinic, and I'm going to cry already. I'm going to cry because I miss everybody. The love that was brought out in me, this has gone to my soul. I mean, I just could never have imagined this. And then Clint, he's so great. What a wonderful man. Where are you? He's just so great. And he both of them.
No, Marsha she was my chauffeur, or actually she let me drive her car, this beautiful light blue bug convertible, Volkswagen bug convertible. And I was driving around Syracuse with her. We were like, I don't know.
It was right.
And
I'm sorry.
First thing she introduced me, she says, "I'm your bodyguard for the event."
I didn't have a job. Where can you go? You can't make these things up, really. This was just so fabulous. Oh my God, the love. I mean, I went there purposely to see, is he real? Is this real? Where did that love come from?
I wonder that all the time. Is he real? I don't know, Clint. Are you real?
Is he so real? He's fabulous. I mean, this is going to be so famous and so popular. I mean, it's starting out that way. That this is like, I want to be humble about it, because there will be a time when you will be. Well, you're on stage now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because the world will change. There's no difference. It's clear in my mind.
Well, I want to say this. Thank you, Marsha, so much for your love, your kindness. What I'm excited about is something that actually Kyle shared with me. So Kyle was the one with me at so many of the clinics in Atlanta, in Alabama. So many powerful things happened at each of these places. Again, in Syracuse, and then in New Jersey. And Kyle was talking about how it feels like there's a different model of leadership that wants to come into the world, which I feel like all of us are a part of. And I don't know, Kyle, if you're in a place you can even speak to that, even just for a moment, but I think it's significant because, this is not the path that I wouldn't have consciously chosen this path. Like, it wasn't even anything I even knew was an option, but even if I knew it was an option, I probably wouldn't have chosen it, But all I'm doing is I'm just trying my best to just not get in the way, Like, sometimes at the clinics, I'll share with you, I shared with this with a couple people, but at the clinic where Marsha was at, there's a beautiful man who came who'd been friends with Dr. Naram for 20 years. Actually, Dr. Steve, do you want to talk about the miracle of seeing John the day before the clinic, that he just arrived in Syracuse? I don't know if you want to talk about that, Steve, at all, but it was really interesting because I had in my mind this person that he's really respected. He teaches meditation seminars to even large companies and businesses and all over the world. And he's a really respected leader. And he was been one of Dr. Ram's friends for over 20 years, and then he just appeared at the clinic without us even knowing he was going to be there at that time in Syracuse. And then Dr. Steve invited him. He says, "Why don't you come?" So he came, and it was like one of these amazing connection moments where you just feel like everything's aligned, and all that I had to do was get out of the way, which is a tough thing to do sometimes. It's a very difficult thing.
Yes.
So because he had come, he had frozen shoulders. He couldn't lift his shoulders more than this without pain, and one of them had been like that for 7 years. And so as we were doing the Marma session, the Marma part of the event, I started to get nervous, like really nervous. And it was this flicker of, man, he's had Marma from Dr. Naram, and what if it doesn't work? And, all these doubts were flooding my mind. And then I just paused. I'm like, okay, Aditi Devo Baba, it's a miracle he's here. Like, why am I getting in the way? I thought, if he's here, maybe Dr. Naram guided him here. Maybe I don't actually have to do very much at all. I just have to get out of the way. And the thing that I thought, I always come back to what Dr. Naram, he shared a very powerful story where he was with his master. He says, you know, whatever you do, give 100%. So I thought, well, I can give my 100%. So we had done Marma on several other people with such great results. And then finally was his turn. And I'm like, I'm just going to give my 100%. And I'm giving my 100%. And before he's sitting, you know, we do the whole process. He's sitting in the chair, can't lift his arms like this. And then, you know, you could see the pain. And then before the Marma was finished, I just had this flash of insight that, and I don't usually speak this, but I just spoke the words out loud. I said, whoa, Dr. Naram is here. You know? And then he said, I just thought that same thing 30 seconds ago. And this was before that moment, you know, still his shoulders were frozen. And then within a minute later, he lifted up his first arm all the way and lifted it like this. And then we did on the second arm, he lifted it all the way up and he was going like this. And I was like, oh, it's so amazing. Thank you, Dr. Naram. You know, so today, as I was reflecting on that, you know, how many times we get in the way of what's possible just through our own doubts, you know? Maybe we don't feel worthy. Maybe we don't think something's possible. Maybe we don't think that, I don't know. I just like, I'm even reflecting on myself, you know? And then when I was last time I was in Atlanta was with Dr. Naram. And to go back again and just remember the airport and all those moments and those memories with him and everything that happened. Last time I was in New York was with Dr. Naram. I recorded a Facebook Live from the 9/11 memorial. You know, we're coming up on 20 years of September 11th, 2001, when the Twin Towers came down and how Dr. helped so many people. Last time I was there was recording the bonus video for the last chapter of the book with Dr. Naram. And so to be there again, you know, I was reflecting on just how sometimes life throws us things that we don't want, you know, we don't expect. It's very difficult. And in this particular case, not having Dr. Naram isn't something that I had planned, you know? And then I was reflecting on all the people we'd met at the clinics, you know, in Atlanta with Jaina, with Kitty, in Alabama with Catherine and her whole family, in Syracuse where Dr. Steve and Chris and all the students just showed up with so much love. You know, there was a moment, I don't know if you saw this Facebook Live, we'll talk about it a little bit, but you know, Denise, I don't know if she is on this call. Denise, can you just unmute yourself just for a second? So the first person I get to in Syracuse that I hug in the clinic space is Denise, and she just has tears going down her face. And this is the first time I'm meeting her, you know? And when I'm meeting Denise, I'm like, what's happening? And Denise, usually we save this for later, but I just want you to share, because many people on this call didn't hear the Facebook Live. Can you share some of the miracle of what's happened for you? It's so amazing. It's so beautiful.
Okay. Several months ago, historically, I have struggled with severe depression to the point of feeling suicidal for many, many years. And I was put on antidepressants, which I found out later you're only supposed to be on for a short amount of time, but I was on them for over 25 years. And my husband went to go fill the prescription. This was probably about 6 months ago, maybe less. The timing's kind of, I don't remember. And they said they weren't making it anymore. And so whatever I had left was what was left. And I started to go into a pretty big panic because I was like, what will happen if I don't have this medication? This is like keeping me sane. I really need to have this. And but I had read the Ancient Secrets book, and I had been on some of the Sunday calls, and one of the first things that came into my head was Aditi Devo Bhava, which is welcoming that experience as the unexpected guest, as much as I didn't want to. I knew that I needed to welcome this or I would be crushed by it. And so,
I just want to pause just for a moment. That's so significant what she's saying. You know, for 25 years being on a medication that you feel is keeping you alive, and then to find out they're not going to make it anymore. And that moment in which it feels like, it could feel like life or death, you know, and even worse in some ways, because it's not just life or death, but it's about, you know, the whole wanting to live, you know?
Yeah.
And so in that moment that she had that wisdom of Dr. Naram enter her mind and her heart, Aditi Devo Baba, to treat the unexpected guest as if God himself or herself has arrived, to take this most challenging moment and in that space have this seed planted in which then she chose to nourish it, is so significant and so powerful. If this is all you get from this call today, is that in your life, these moments can happen. You know, I'd just be so grateful. So Denise, keep sharing what happened after that.
okay. So I started having panic attacks, which I hadn't had for years. And I thought, okay, I need to deal with these because this is, although I'm welcoming this, I'm still experiencing panic about what's going to happen. So I Googled, I thought, okay, I should try Ayurveda and panic attacks. So I Googled Ayurveda panic attacks. The first video that comes up is Dr. Smita and Krishna sharing about ancient secrets to do with panic attacks. And I had met Dr. Smita because she had come to Syracuse, and I I was like, she's here with me. Like, I can't believe this is the first video that came up. And so they went through this whole thing. It was a half-hour video about different things to do and marmas and using ghee and herbal supplements that could be taken. And so I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the path. This is how I'm going to get through this. And so I called Dr. Steve and I said, can I come in? Do you have these supplements? You know, what can I do? And he said, yes, I have them, but it'd be best if we set you up in an appointment with one of the Ayur Shakti doctors. So I had an appointment with Dr. Ronak, who was incredibly just so compassionate and whatever. And so they gave me a course of things to do and some supplements to take and some different things to try. And so it took several months of getting how you should get off it is like over a really long time, and I had to do it over a short amount of time. And so through the grace of God, through so many different people, through people praying for me, through my family, through taking these herbs, I was able to get off of the medication. So I've been off of it for about 6 weeks. It was a really challenging time. It was hard to get off of, but I also during it, I really knew that the herbs were working. And the other thing that I shared with Dr. Clint in the video was that at the same time I was being cared for by a team of doctors who continually tried to want to give me other medications. So they wanted to take me off one antidepressant and put me on something else, or sleeping medications or this and that. And I kept telling them I didn't need to do that. Like, I'm supposed to be getting off of this, and that I was taking these really powerful herbal supplements, and that they were these ancient secrets. And so I'm telling these different doctors this, and they're just shaking their head like, what is going on with you? Like, how can this be? And one doctor in particular, who was a resident, she would keep asking me like, how are you doing this? Like, I don't understand. And I had explained about Aditi Devo Baba. I talked to her about, some of the different things I was doing, and about meditating, and about just some of the, the different people that were helping me. And she at one point looked at me and said, I am so in awe of this. And as a resident, I'm trained to really see somebody who's in pain and say, take this, like, this is what you need to do, take this, take this. And what I've learned from you is that there needs to be a deeper healing, and that isn't always the way. And that I wish that you could come and talk to the residents to explain that there's a different way. She goes, I didn't know how to help somebody to get off of this, even though they placed you with me to help you to do this. You've taught me how to help somebody get off of something that's like this. And so as a follow-up, Dr. Clint doesn't know, after the clinic, I asked him, I couldn't think about what to do to thank her, because she was so with me and so gracious. And so Dr. Clint wrote a beautiful inscription. I decided I would give her the Ancient Secrets book. So I just saw her last Thursday, and I wrapped it all up, and I told her about it, and that I had talked so highly of her, and gave her the book. And she just, again, she was just so, you have no idea what this means to me. And I'm so grateful. I mean, for you to gift me when actually you've gifted me already, like, you don't need to give me anything else. But she was so grateful. She was so grateful for the gift, and I know she'll read it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So that
is so amazing, Denise. It's so amazing. There's so many things to share about this, but in addition to 25 years of being on antidepressant medication and coming off of it, in addition to helping touch and move and inspire the heart of a resident that wants to learn and teach other people, Denise also did this amazing thing. She lost 20 pounds before she was walking with a walker. So this is Denise before. You can see, it's hard to, it doesn't even look like the same person. This is her when she's singing with her group, her quartet. Oh man, it's amazing. And then this is after. Oh my goodness. It's so amazing, so inspiring on so many levels, inspiration. The other thing I want to share is that when Denise told me this story, I'm talking about how much I was missing Dr. Naram, and it's just amazing that the book was ready, like right immediately after he left his body, and how much I feel like he's been doing. I just got the notification from Radu and Vanda saying the book is ready. It just completed in Romanian, we just got it in Gujarati. It's so close in French, in Spanish, so close in German. We have it already. I've been showing in Italian, in Portuguese. I see Prafulta's on the call, who helped so much with this, in so many languages. But the very end of the book, for those who've read it, is a dedication. And so if you've read the first part of the book, you'll know that I lost my sister. My sister's name was Denise, and I lost her because, she didn't want to live, and so she actually took her own life. And we didn't know what to do. I remember as a kid visiting the hospitals and trying and seeing they're giving her medications and doing all kinds of stuff. And it's like they couldn't reach her. They didn't know what to do, And so at the end of the book, I just dedicated it. I said, I dedicate this book in special memory of my sister, Denise. I love you always. I may not have had the tools or knowledge to help you while you were alive, but I dedicate this book in your name, hoping it leads many people to find hope and a path of deeper healing. And so, not only did this amazing thing happen for anyone, but for Denise. Her name is Denise, and she's telling me how she came off of the medications, and not only that, but feeling so much healthier and so much more alive. And it's just it deepens again, like, we're talking about miracles on this call, and is there an ancient science for miracles? In the other part of the dedication, after Dr. Naram passed away, I said, in a special dedication to legendary master healer Dr. Naram, thank you for devoting your life force to mastering and sharing these ancient healing secrets for the benefit of every home and every heart on earth. And as I was at the clinics and as I was meeting students from the 100-day course, not only in Syracuse, but then we go to New Jersey, and it was so, so beautiful. I don't know if Ellie is on the call right now. She is. Good. We're gonna share just, Ellie, I don't know if you can unmute yourself, but we show up at this fantastic home in New Jersey, and we meet this beautiful family. Ellie, can you just say if you can hear this, if you can speak?
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Good. And she shared something fun about how when we said, okay, we're gonna do the clinic at your home in New Jersey, you're a little bit worried. And can you share what that was about? It's so funny.
Oh, the first thing I thought about was our first assignment was to clean the bathrooms really well and to give it our 100%. And Dr. Clint was going to be staying at my house in the basement, and there's a bathroom down there, and then there's the bathroom on my first floor where the clinic was going to be, where people were going to be using that. And obviously I made sure the bathroom was clean, but like, oh my God, Dr. Clint is going to be here. He's going to inspect my bathroom, make sure it's 100% clean, that there is no dust, that there's no nothing. And I was like in panic. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be like really tested. So I was freaked out a little bit.
So she's talking about, Dr. One of the first things his master gave him was an assignment to clean the bathroom. So those in the 100-day course had that assignment, and she was excited for me to come, but a little bit worried because maybe I'd be looking at the bathrooms. And
because I'm not the best cleaner in the world.
I'll tell you what, the bathrooms were beautiful, but what was even more beautiful was her love. Her and her family just invited us with so much love. And it's the first time they've done anything like this. Basically no one's been in their home and they haven't been leaving very much. But there was such a space of love created, and people came from all over, drove for so long distances. And just kind of to summarize this whole part of it, at the same time that I'm missing Dr. Naram, I'm just filled with so much love. So much love. And just seeing him everywhere, seeing him in Ellie, seeing him in Denise, and all the students that I met, and all the miracle, beautiful experiences that we heard. Today, after we have this musical number by Gary, you're going to hear from Chung and from Dr. Ashwini about ancient secrets for gaining weight, for improving digestion, for increasing joy. We're going to have a very beautiful discussion about that. And then you'll have a chance to share. Today is really about connection. Connecting with that love and finding out, we're going to tease out, what is this ancient science? Dr. Ram would say, what you see is like miracles. Like when John's arms went like this, it looks like a miracle. He hadn't been able to do that for 7 years. And then in that space had full mobility. It looks like a miracle, but it's based on an ancient science. It looks like a miracle, what Denise did, but it's based on a science. And when you just learn these principles, I think, Denise, were you also the one? Oh, no, it was actually, I'm sorry. It wasn't Denise. It was, actually it was Denise, but a different Denise. Denise zapped. Well, let's bring in all the Denises. So then we go to New Jersey and Denise zapped comes, and she says that it was the spark of this miracle group, this community, is what made it so she was willing to start the 30-day detox for the first time, when she'd never done anything like that before. When I woke up this morning, Denise, do you just want to say hi real quick? And
I'm so excited to say hi to everyone. As I said, I never want this to end. I want this to go on for the rest of our lives together every Sunday, please.
Well, Denise showed up at New Jersey the night before, and there wasn't any appointments. All the appointments filled up so fast. And so I was just always in my heart thinking, how can we serve more people? How can we help more people? So it's in my heart. We're really looking at this. And if you have a strong request for me to come to your city, or any of the student, any of the practitioners to come to your city, you send an email to monica@myancientsecrets.com. But Denise came, she showed up, and we had a beautiful dinner, and she told me about how her life had changed. I was just thinking
I hadn't felt well in 2009, I got very sick with Lyme disease, and I was sick for about 5-6 years. And after that, because I was I tried everything from alternative methods and also Western medicine, and I was on a lot of antibiotics for 5-6 years. I had ports in my arm. I administered the antibiotics through the ports, and as I said, I also did alternative methods, so that's why I'm better. There's many people who are not better. But anyway, I still have a lot of digestive issues, gut issues, because of all the antibiotics I took. And I've been struggling for years. So it was my 66th birthday this year. And I thought to myself, you know what? listen to all these people. They're getting better. And there's a chance for me. There's hope for me. And so I need to do this. I need to take control. And if I don't do it now, there may not be hope for me. So I said, that's it. I'm going to talk to the Irish Shakti doctor. I'm going to take control of my life, and I'm going to do the mung bean soup cleanse. What better time than COVID, staying home? And every day, like all day, I was making different mung bean soup for myself and taking the herbs, and my cholesterol was high, and I had a lot of different problems with my blood work, and I started feeling better, and it was amazing. My head started clearing up, my digestion started to get better, and it was like after 4 days I started to feel better. And I'm going to cry too, because there's hope, and I'm feeling better, and I'm really inspired by everyone. And I had my blood work done, and my cholesterol went down from 222 to 175. And that was after 3 weeks. And a lot of my blood work came out much better. And I'm just so thankful. And I will say also that, you know, I didn't know that Dr. Clint was coming to New Jersey. I didn't ever connect with Monica. And when I saw that, I said, where are you going to be? And he was 20 minutes away from my house. It's like, I have to come. I have to just meet him, even if I can't get into the clinic. So, you know, I'm so grateful and blessed that I was invited to dinner at Ellie Sheva's house, and Ellie was amazing and welcoming. And so I went to dinner with them, and I reminded him when I left, I said, Dr. Clint, if anybody cancels for tomorrow, I know I'm not next in line, but I'm 15 minutes away. So please, like, I can be here in the drop of a hat. And by the time I got home, there was a text saying somebody had canceled. Could I take the appointment? And so, synchronicity. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Denise. So beautiful. And I want everyone to listen to where did that miracle start? You know, we're talking about this ancient science of miracles. If you listen closely, it started with you on this call, sharing your story. And because you shared your story, she was feeling hopeless, like nothing was ever going to change. She tried everything. She not only tried Western, but also alternative or whatever you want to call it. And it wasn't working. But then she heard your story, and it put this little thought about what if I can get better? And that gave her enough hope to start. And after only 4 days of following these ancient secrets, starting to feel better. But what if she never started the first day? She would have never had that experience, never got her blood report that showed the cholesterol decreasing from so much, 220 to whatever, 180 or 170, and it can continue to get better and better and better. So on this call, in this space, you're giving yourself a gift of the possibility of opening up your heart in such a way that a miracle can happen in your life. And it looks like a miracle, but it's based on an ancient science. Chung, are you there? I just want you to say hi real quick. And we're going to come to you after the break, but I just want to see. Chung,
I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Good to see you. All right, so I just wanted people to hear your voice and see your face. She's going to share a very powerful story of what happened for her and for her mom after this music. But I want to go to Gary Malkin, multiple Emmy award-winning composer, producer, man of, I call him a genius. Actually, he's not just a musical genius, but he's a genius of the heart. I've seen him for years and years in his evolution of spirit, his evolution of his belief in the divinity inside of him. And right now, I believe he's at a space he's never, ever been at in his life. And so in this space, it's so fun. Soon at noon Pacific today, he's doing something called a Soul Song Sunday. He can actually custom create music for the prayer of your heart based on this moment in time, what you need to hear. And it's just the most amazing experience. So at noon today, that's there. But right now, Garrett, for this call, this very special call where we're looking at, you know, there's many people on this call who are in the 100-day course, and he has a piece of music called The Path of a Healer. And I just want you to open your heart and listen closely not only to the words and the music, but what is your knowing? And what is it that you just have to remember about yourself and about life that can open you up to a different possibility or experience? Gary?
Thank you, Clint. We are all evolutionarily soft-wired, hardwired to be healers because our journey is about evolution and expansion. So even if we don't identify ourselves as professional healers, as we enter into the ancient secrets world, we realize that if we're human, we're all healers. We're healers that have signed up to become, if we choose life, to choose healing as our evolutionary journey every day. And one of the things that we discovered when Michael Stillwater and I created the resource Graceful Passages, which is about coming to a deeper understanding of our impermanence as a way to embrace the preciousness of life, we found that all the healthcare providers were with so much accumulated grief that we couldn't get through to them around helping them resolve their grief. So we thought, what can we do? And we realized that the human voice is like the thumbprint of the soul. And when you speak from intention and tenderness and consciousness, it's like thoughts are things. Well, our voice is like that drop in the vibrational frequency of the field, and it makes an impact on us. So when we speak from the depth of who we are, it matters, right? So we asked cultural anthropologist Angela Sarian, who's no longer in this plane of existence, to speak directly to the healers. And it was very edgy. We did this in 2005. And it was edgy because she talks about shamans, right? To healthcare professionals, right? So now it's more normal, but it's still a little bit edgy. So as you listen to this track, it's from a resource called Care for the Journey. You can download it at wisdomoftheworld.com. But I really want you to drop in to what we call alchemical wisdom. It's the marriage of the head and the heart, the mind and the essence of you, and allow yourself to just drop in to the healer that we all are, that you are. Inevitably, you wouldn't have been drawn to this call if you weren't a healer. So let this move you, let this touch you, let this open your heart, and here it goes. I'm going to share the screen, and I'm so grateful for the privilege of sharing this work with you guys. What a gift. Love you all. Here we go. And we are good. Here we go. And it's totally up to you. If you want to just close your eyes, great. But I have a feeling someone might be spotlighting. So if it's spotlighted, remember that your gaze is the generous gift of your presence. So don't forget that. Whatever best for you. Don't feel compelled to share your gaze, but it's certainly available, I think, if you get spotlit. Love you all, and here it goes. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Take a deep breath and let it go in all the way.
Every individual who carries a call to healing is a person who carries a great heart and generosity of spirit. So how do I, as a healer or a healthcare professional, renew myself? What sustains me? What regenerates me? What heals me? You may think of yourself as a doctor, nurse, health professional, and yet in many traditional societies, you would be called a medicine person, a shaman. You would be called a shaman because you have the privilege to steward the mysteries. And one of the mysteries is illness, which is an initiation to coming home again to a deeper sense of self and well-being. The greatest healing force on the planet is love, and all the arms of love: gratitude, acknowledgement, appreciation, forgiveness, laughter, play. Which of these do I bring when I'm asked for help? Where can I trust implicitly the healing presence that I bring? I'm reminded of an old healing prayer that comes from the Central American indigenous peoples. Do all the good that you can, in all the ways that you can, by all the means that you can, to all the people that you can, in all the places that you can, for as long as ever you can. Healing does not take place in the fast lane, nor does it take place as only stewarding the technical. For anyone who is called to the medical profession or the healing arts, the true calling is to access the deeper healing gifts that we carry within. So my hope and wish is that you do all the good that you can, in all the ways that you can, for as long as ever you can.
For those of you who notice that after the music ends, I try to give their space. The space after music is the most sacred time to let the magic and the medicine of the music have its impact on you. Remember, there's plenty of time to absorb. Let the music settle before you go on to normal reality. And I love that this is the beautiful community where we can honor the medicine and the magic and the miracle of music to help us integrate and deepen our ability to populate our heart and soul. Love you all, and thank you, Clint, for letting me share this love of setting words to music in a way that enables us to marry our hearts and listen with our hearts, not just our ears. Take care.
Oh, so beautiful, Gary. What about that music and those words, Gary? What impacts you about that in context of this community?
You know, I love that you said that, because when this was created in around 2006, there's been so much shamanic integration around the world. And now when I say that all of us are healers, with your book out, it adds a whole other level of meaning of owning ourselves as healers, because the book that you've written and that Dr. Naram's work was based on was all about taking radical responsibility for our healing within ourselves. So suddenly, by reading the book, I'm more aware of the fact that I am my own healer with God and with all the forces of nature that I can tap into. So I know that Angela Sarian, if she was alive today, would be so happy to know about this community. And the magic of being able to take her words and set it to music, as I have with hundreds of tracks now, it's almost feeling like instead of worrying about the distribution of Care for the Journey to the rest of the world, I'm concerned with distributing the track to each and every heart. So the distribution is not to the world, the normal distribution, dissemination, strategies. It's about how can we deliver this so that people receive it fully. And that's what that music for her words is all about. That phrase I put in the chat, I just want to say it again. It's so beautiful. I just want to say it again because it's so gorgeous. It could almost be like a quote for the community. It's, where is it? Do all the good that you can in all the ways that you can, by all the means that you can, to all the people you can, in all the places that you can, for as long as ever you can. It's almost like a theme song for the Ancient Secrets community, right? So I just really love that. And then she says, healing doesn't happen in the fast lane. And one of those great things when, what's his name? I'm forgetting, Nick, when he realized that, wait, I'm not looking for a healing like that. It's a partnership. It's an iterative journey. It's something that I have to water and let there be sunlight and time and care and loving energy. And then it moves in the right direction. And that's the flow of healing. And that's one of the great things I'm learning as I've just begun my journey with the Ayush Shakti herbs and with your pulse reading results. I'm about to start my healing. I've kind of stalled the starting of it as long as I can, but I'm about to do it. So I hope you all hold space for me as I dive into my Ancient Secrets path again, since 2 years ago doing Ayurveda Panchakarma with Clint and anyway, I can't wait to begin my journey again. And I just want to thank you again, Clint, for changing my life. It's so beautiful.
So beautiful. You're speaking about Nick, and he's actually on the call. I want to say what's so powerful is you're talking about how even Verenia, I love how she says one reason why she loves this work so much is because the Ancient Secrets point you back to yourself and the power you have to heal. And Nick, I just want to hear whatever you have to share.
Well, Gary mentioned that in the chat that this healing isn't on the fast track. And I just remember when I met you, it was just over 4 months ago. I actually texted you the other day, and I remembered that when you saw me, you said, just imagine what Nick does, where he's going to be at in 6 months. And it's been 4, and it's just such an incredible change, but it hasn't been fast and it hasn't been easy. And, I'm still in the middle of it, of healing and changing, but I guess I've got 2 more months, then we'll see where I'm at then.
Nick, you've been an inspiration for me and so many others about how every choice, makes a difference. Every choice to love yourself. And I'm so proud. I'm so happy. I know it's probably not the right time, but the pictures you sent about before and after are amazing. And I can't wait until you're ready to share those publicly because they're astounding. Very visually you can see, but I can feel in you. And the thing is, it's also not that you're changing, because I felt in you your divinity from the very first moment I met you. The change I see is just you're recognizing it more and more, and that whatever is the pain and the difficulties and the challenges on a physical, mental, and emotional level, they're just kind of slowly coming up and being addressed one by one as you have the strength to look at it and to help transition out of that. Gary, I want to say one other thing to you. I'm so glad you're starting now again and planting your garden, because I want you on this planet for as long as possible, and I want you to be sharing your gift on this planet as long as possible. And I love you. and I want you to be here. So thank you for that. So
I-
that
Thank you, Clint. And I'll do my best. And so many people are asking where they can hear the track. So I'm going to put it in the chat now again. And just so you know, you can download it from our website, wisdomoftheworld.com, and join us for all the musical gifts we have to give you as well. That would be great.
Yeah, I saw a couple people raise their hand. I want to go to Kyle in a little bit because, we're talking about a model for the new world, and he spoke some words that were so powerful.
Clint, I just want to say, I'm going to go because I have a class to attend, but I love you all, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this community. Blessings to you all.
Great. Thank you, Gary. Looking forward to seeing you at noon Pacific time. So first I want to go to Jerem. And Jerem, please, I know you wanted to share something at the beginning, and then after this track, we'll go to Jerem and Kyle, and then we'll go to Chung and Dr. Ashwini, a very powerful story. But Jerem?
Yeah, so I've been pretty much blown away by our 100-day course on so many levels. And this past week, we've been studying the Marma points. And I've always felt a connection to points because I'm an EFT tapping practitioner. And one of the Marmas that came through was called Forgive and Forget. And that felt very important to me, just reading about it and seeing it illustrated in our class that day. And I remember Dr. Naram saying that 90% of our difficulties in life, our physical and et cetera, were caused by emotional issues. And so I decided it's time for me to do this on myself because I find myself at various times and fairly frequently in what I call cringe moments. I remember some moments where I wasn't as kind as I should have been, or I was actually in a very negative space where I was hurting someone. And it never felt good, and it always felt like an obstruction to being my best self. And I started doing these, and to my amazement, these long-standing issues that I felt so bad about were disappearing. I mean, I was stunned by it, how powerful it was. And then integrating it with, what do I want? And I was like, am I imagining this? And waited for a few days, and it was still the same result. And I worked with one of my clients on it, and she was in the same space. She kept saying, I can't believe what this is doing. So I'm just so grateful for the Marma points and for everything. So thank you.
Jerem, that's so beautiful. It's so powerful. All the different Marma points that are described in the book, in the 100-day course, also in book 2 and 3 that will be coming out at some point. Man, they're so simple. It's so funny because as I'm sitting in Pulse consultations and I'm explaining some Marmas to people, I'm remembering back when I was a skeptic and someone was showing me the points to press, and I was so arrogant. I was thinking, there's no way, what kind of ridiculousness? Who's going to believe this? Just pressing points on your body is going to help, but then there's a point in the book where Dr. Ram is challenging another researcher saying, you're not a real scientist. If you're a real scientist, you have a hypothesis, but you don't know, so then I thought, well, why don't I do an experiment? When I heard that story, I was like, I'll test it. I can test it. I have my own experience, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And then when you find out it works, that's awesome. Because it's always, your body's always with you, at least while we have it. and it's free, and you always have access to it. And what a cool design of the divine, and a very powerful way in which we can release things on a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level. And then also walk more away from things that are even subconscious, that are creating like a fog. Go more in towards what we want, into the clarity of why our soul is here. And that journey is very powerful. And I'm so grateful, Jerem, for you expressing that. Maybe on one of the future calls, I can walk everyone through that process because it's so powerful. but if anyone's interested,
great.
you can leave a message. There is a different future coming. And whatever has been in the past, we can see old structures are not really holding up anymore. You know, there's a fluctuation happening. It feels like, you know, there's a great philosopher. He talks about if you walk up on the street and you see a woman screaming and blood, you think something is wrong. Something is very wrong. She's screaming, there's blood, it's mess. But if you understand pregnancy and you understand, oh, she's giving birth, then it's not that something's wrong. It's just there's a process happening in which something new is being born on the planet, you know? And so in this case in which sometimes there's stress, like I just love Nick. Whenever he shares, I feel so grateful for his presence. I've learned so much from him and I love him so much. Whenever he's sharing, even about the pain or the difficulties, I cannot see anything other than thank you, God, you know, that this new thing is being born in this golden man, you know, that he's going to experience life completely differently. You know, he talks about when the physical pain went away, some more of the emotional pain came to the surface, which is very real for a lot of people. Yes. But maybe now is the time to see it and then to see through it. I want to go now to Kyle. Kyle, when you're looking at what's been happening in the 100-day course, when you've been thinking about, as you've been at the clinics, you know, you're not prepared to speak at all, but you're always prepared to speak. Just whatever.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. I'll share whatever comes through. What's up, all you beautiful beings from around the globe? Just landed here in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, and I'll say how much words want to be shared. I'm just super blissed out, you know, sharing my breath, my energy, and my love, hearing all these beautiful stories, witnessing all these beautiful stories from this past tour, and everything that's been taking place in this group, in the 100-day training, on these global miracle calls every Sunday, and talking about leadership and devotion to the healing path, which I see, you know, healing and the word journey as one and the same, that our journey is the healing. Like, this is the healing journey, and all that we, you know, go through in our situations, our circumstances, our life, it's all part of the process. And then there's another level, a deeper level of devotion, of commitment to the healing path, which I see all of us in, of just being here present on this call, arriving in this moment. I see all of us have been making those choices, that choice to be in deeper devotion to the healing path, you know, which Gary, Nick, and Clint were just talking about, of, you know, the healing path. And Gary, you know, I know he left the call, but, you know, I want to acknowledge him for, he says like, oh, and I'm been avoiding, you know, this healing, and I'm gonna, you know, now start. I'm like, Gary, you've been on it, baby. You've been deep on, you know, the healing path. You know, now you're just taking another step to take it, you know, to another level with herbs and diet. But, you know, him just being here is, you know, it's his devotion and dedication and that choice to the healing path, which goes into, hold on, the message just popped up. There we are. Which leads into that devotion on your healing path, which is you also taking that path to the form of leadership that we're talking about here, which I just describe and see as enlightened leadership, you know, which I see as a new model of leadership emerging and being birthed on this planet right now, with people making the choice for that through their healing path. And it's just needed, you know, like planet Earth, Lady Gaia, you know, all of humanity and all the species and beings at all dimensions, you know, all in need of this leadership and healing, you know. And I feel the foundation of this kind of leadership, you know, going on your healing path, is the strengthening and balance of the masculine and feminine energies, where this old model of leadership has been, you know, super masculine driven, you know, and now there's a new form of leadership through doing the healing, which allows you to, you know, surrender to the rise of the sacred feminine within your being, and the different levels of, you know, masculine healing that needs to take place, that I know I've experienced, especially in the past couple of years, you know, for me to be in a state of being, to emanate that presence, you know, new levels of love, so I can be a leader in the moment, which has been through, you know, surrender and that feminine receptivity to not know exactly, like Clint just said, to not know exactly what you're going to share or express in the moment, but knowing that you've been doing the work, you've been devoted on a healing path, you are going to arrive in the moment, and the moment is your stage. Every moment is the stage. You always got the mic, and you're not sure of what's going to come through or going to happen, but you're in that deep receptivity, surrender, trust, and love to share whatever can come through. And what I learned so much of, Dr. Clint, ever since I first saw him speak about a year and a half or so ago, I just, remember witnessing, his golden presence, and just like, whoa, he's just speaking straight from the heart. It's just so beautiful. So that's, part of the essence of being an enlightened leader. And like Clint talked about, of like getting out of the way. You arrive, and then you also, get out of the way and allow spirit, and that love to express through you, through our vessels, through our individual, personalities, egoic beings. Because I feel like as human, we're forever ego. We just heighten the vibration of that, egoicness, I guess you could say. So we were just chatting about in the car about, we were, as he put it, dreamscaping, of like, let's dreamscape for a little bit on future timelines and of the earth. And then leadership was brought up, and it's just like, yeah, enlightened leadership is what inevitably is happening in this 100-day training. Everyone's really, this Ancient Secrets book is allowing everyone to truly become their own healer, because you are the healer. And then as a healer, you realize that your healing is the only healing that needs to happen. I learned this awesome lesson from a shaman one time that was like, when you get to the point when you realize that your healing is the only healing that needs to ever, be worked on or shifted or changed, as you're in contentment in your moment, and everyone outside of you in the external world is simply a reflection, and it's all perfect of where they are on their journey, wherever you're witnessing their level of consciousness, like they're perfectly, on their path in their own book. As a healer, is like, for me, in my experience, it's just like, I know my healing is the only healing that needs to happen. Being the leader of my moment, and then people, coming into my present moment and then pulled my stories or things that I've learned, beautiful. What a gift. Or do some energy healing or some awesome wizard magic. That's fun, baby. And I feel like at a core, it's it's getting to the point that the great alchemists such as Saint Germain and Jesus Christ embody and teach the threefold flame, which is divine power, divine wisdom, and unconditional love. That blue, that gold, and magenta threefold flame that emanates deep from in the chambers of each and every heart, that we can all access, of being enlightened leaders and of being healers on this planet, of what's taking place. 144,000 strong, baby. That we're all our own gurus. So that's how I kind of see the leadership and how it's unfolding so beautifully and so perfectly.
You're getting so much love from people. Andrea says, Kyle, where have you been hiding?
Who is he? I mean, my God, you are so terrific.
Masha!
Where are you? Who are you? Where did all that come from?
I don't know. I'm discovering who am I,
Oh my God, you're amazing. Oh, fabulous.
Thank you.
So beautiful. Speaking about leadership and leading our own healing, lots of times our path, sometimes we don't love ourselves as much as we love other people, and so the journey takes us through an unexpected path. Like, I call this book a love story because it was love from my father that brought me beyond what I thought was logical or possible in the world where now these healing miracles are happening all the time. And I'm just so grateful for that journey. And there's someone that we're going to hear from now, Chung, who I consider a leader. And I consider a very, very powerful leader. And she's not a leader you may consider in terms of what you think of, but I see her as a very powerful leader. And as you listen to her story, I want you to have your heart open. And we're going to hear from her and also Dr. Ashwini from Ayush Shakti talking about how did this very, very powerful, beautiful miracle happen. So Chung?
Yes. So, well, first of all, I want to say, at the clinic, I feel so much love and presence with Dr. Clint. And thank you, Kyle, for your very loving hugs. I really love those hugs. So
Those hugs are becoming famous, Kyle. You can be the new. You like Amma's the hugging mother. You can be the new hugging mother.
Excellent. That's my job now. What do you do? I give hugs, baby. So fabulous. Thank you.
So yeah, so I first met Dr. Clint on YouTube. So it was a TED Talk where I learned about, and just like everybody shared, it was a very touching video for me. I basically couldn't stop crying after watching Dr. Clint speaking and sharing his powerful story about his father and his healing journey of his father and how he met Dr. Naram and the ancient secrets. So at the end of the video, if you remember that he asked 3 very powerful questions. So I re-listened to that video over and over again, and I feel very moved and touched, and by the video. And from there, I was waiting for his book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, to come out. So I waited for a while. And as soon as the book came out, I got a book. So I started reading the book and was very moved and touched by the stories that's shared in the book. And that's how I started learning about Ancient Secrets. And then eventually, when the opportunity was available, I booked an appointment with Dr. Ashwini for myself. And then
real quick, I want to see, is Dr. Ashwini on the call? Just can you unmute yourself real quick, and we'll have you speak in a little bit, but we just want to make sure we can hear you. Dr. Ashwini.
Hello, everyone.
Beautiful. I didn't tell Chung you were going to be on the call, but I just wanted to surprise her. So amazing. So keep going, Chung. So you booked this consultation, this video call with Dr. Ashwini, and what happened?
Yeah, I love you, Dr. Ashwini, very much. Thank you so much. So I booked the appointment with Dr. Ashwini to help myself, with some issues. And then it was helpful. And then shortly after, my mom got sick. It was around the time when the global pandemic hit the US, and she started not feeling well. And then we brought her to many different doctors, Western doctors for stomachs, for hearts, for all sorts of different specialty doctors, and nothing helped. We took her to the emergency room 3 times in 2 months because she's in a lot of pain, and she had a severe digestive issues that she couldn't eat, and as a result, she lost 30 pounds. So that was a lot for a tiny woman like her. Basically, she was in pain, and she couldn't do simple things like taking a shower and things like that. So I wanted to share some pictures of her before and after. So if you can set it up for me, Dr. Clint, that would be great. So yeah, I couldn't recognize her after she lost 30 pounds.
I just made you co-host so you can click to share your screen. And I think it'd be really good to see those before and after pictures.
Yeah, so that's before. She was at a emergency room and she was in so much pain. So I couldn't, look at this picture. I just couldn't stop crying. So I was right there by the bed. She literally couldn't do anything except they gave her a lot of pain medication. So the only thing she can do is lay on the bed and dozing off. And the pain medication is also causing a lot of side effects in her. So she makes her want to vomit, and it doesn't make her feel good. But there's really nothing we can do at this point. So she was in the medical emergency room like 2 to 3 times within a 2-month period because she was just in so much pain, and she has so many issues in her body, and we don't know what's going on. They gave her like a dozen different tests, ultrasound, MRI, everything you can think of. She went through all these Western tests, and everything came back normal. So nothing was wrong. And then the doctor's like, oh, maybe, you should take her to see some she maybe have mental issues, whatever. So, and then we also took her to see acupuncturist, and that also didn't help very much. So eventually I thought of the book, which I have a copy as well. So I booked an appointment for her with Dr. Ashwini. And then we started giving her herbs and changed her diet. And because, you know, it wasn't an in-person appointment, so we can really, Dr. Ashwini recommended not to do any mamas at a point. So just starting her with herbs and changing her diet. And then it helped a little, but not to the point where, you know, that we can really see the benefit. So I got impatient. So I emailed Dr. Clint and I say, it's not working.
Yeah, you can imagine that moment where you feel so much hope and you try something and you're doing it. And after a couple months, for someone that you love so much, nothing is happening. And so she sent me this email so troubled. And I just said, no, it's about deeper healing. It's not a quick fix. And to her credit, she continued. And for her mother's benefit, she continued, and something very powerful happened. And so please keep sharing.
So yeah, so I didn't give up. It was almost 7 months that she was in a lot of pain and nothing really improved very much. So eventually I got her connected to a therapist. So like Dr. Clint said, you know, it's mind, body, and spirit. You can just heal the body and not taking care of the mind and the soul. So with the therapist and Dr. Ashwini's help, the two came together was so powerful. And she started experiencing relief in her pain, like shortly after, within, I would say, a month or two, right? The herbs really started kicking in. That was the time it's the herbs and it's coming to effect. So, so after, I would say 3 to 4 months, her pain has reduced by 60-70%. So she's having a lot less pain, and her digestive has been constantly improving. So she gained 30 pounds. And right now, I think she's gaining more pounds than ever before. She's becoming sturdier now. So yeah, so that's really wonderful. And
I like that description, becoming sturdier. That's really good. And I want to say, lots of times people are talking about losing weight. The ancient secrets can help people lose weight, but isn't it powerful? Ancient secrets can also help you gain weight. And a lot of people have this concern. They want to do the Hmong diet, or they want to follow the herbs, but they're afraid they don't want to lose any more weight. What I love about this story, she not only gained that weight back, but it's just in her health. You know, it's about your ideal weight. Chung, do you have an after picture you can show?
yeah, so she got so much better. She's now 70-80% better. And we finally was able to sit down and have dinner together, which wasn't possible, you know, about a year ago. So we celebrated her birthday, April 1st. And it was really wonderful to see her, you know, beautiful smile, and you can see her face. She's becoming, you know, sturdier. You can see in her face and her smile and how she feels. She feels wonderful. There's no pain. Most days she has no pain now. She's like, you know, she's feeling really good.
That is so powerful. Yeah, amazing. So now I want to go also, Dr. Ashwini, can you describe from your perspective what happened? What happened in this powerful case? And what were the ancient secrets that helped this beautiful result to come for Chung and for her mother?
Hello everyone, and first I would like to thank Gary for that powerful and beautiful musical track of healing, because the one sentence in that healing doesn't happen in the past lane, and this is the case, and I'm happy that we are sharing this case here on the same day. because it's a case of a beautiful and loving mother and her very caring daughter. I appreciate June for her patience, for her love, and for her dedication. She wants to help her mother. And yes, definitely it took time. It took some time because if we see upfront, it looks like only a hyperacidity case. But it's not like that. It's related to something different. A deeper healing of digestive system is required in this case. It's a translation consultation because Chun translated me whatever her symptoms, and then I asked few questions. Then again Chun translated to her mother, and the reply comes. This all is going like that, and I appreciate
Dr. Shwini, just real quick, for some reason it's cutting in and out. For Chung, is it also cutting that in and out for you? Can you hear her properly, or is it a little bit tricky to hear?
It's a little bit tricky to hear. Yes, I felt the same way.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, Dr. Shwini, maybe you can share a couple sentences because it's hard to hear. It's coming in and out. But main thing is, what would you recommend if someone wanted to see this same result? What can we do? What can people do?
Okay. So first we have to, in this case, we have to work on the imbalance of Pitta and Vata dosha, and we have to follow a diet very properly because diet plays a major role when your digestive power is low. And to improve your digestive power so that whatever you eat will absorb properly, because of this low digestive power, her absorption capacity is very low, and that's why she is losing weight continuously. So we improve in that case, and now she is gaining weight and she is happy now.
So beautiful. So for those who aren't part of the 100-day course and may not understand some of those concepts, basically Dr. Shwini is talking about how there's certain things out of balance, the doshas. And so it's a concept in this ancient science by which when you rebalance that, remove some of the toxins and improve the agni, that such powerful things can happen. Dr. Naram says if you change your food, you can change your future. And it's not a quick fix, but in the particular case of Chung, balancing the doshas, also helping the mind. It's not just the food you feed here, but the food you feed here, which is so important. And this is a perfect case of it. It's such a powerful case on so many levels. And Chung, it makes me so happy. Dr. Sweeney, thank you for devoting your life in such a way you can be an instrument of deeper healing. I love it. When Chung first saw you, I saw the look on her face and she says, Dr. Sweeney, I love you. I love you. Because when you give someone's life back, like, I mean, Chung, when you saw your mom get healthier and healthier, how did it impact you and your heart?
It was definitely such a reliever, because I was basically, when she felt the pain in her body, I felt it too. So I was so deeply connected since she's a single mother and I'm single child. So we have a very close and powerful bonding between us. So whatever she felt, I felt it too. And I felt it more in my heart. It was so much sadness and just, in my heart that I every day I pray to God that, and it was a long time. She wasn't started feeling better for a straight, I would say, 8 months. She wasn't feeling better. So it was a long time to see her suffer like that. So eventually when she started feeling better with the help of Dr. Ashwini and the therapist together, it was like the best gift I've ever received.
So beautiful. Jaina, as you're watching this story, anything happen inside of you? We're going to go into breakout room soon, but real quick, I want you to be thinking about what is love teaching you on this call? The opening quote of the book is one of the principles for seeing more miracles in your life. I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you. Love will teach you. So we have covered some of the principles of the ancient science for seeing miracles. But what have you learned? And Jaina, what's your impact on your heart?
Almost every single person that's spoken on this call, it has impacted me. just to speak to this last one, the food really makes a huge difference. I can't believe how much it's changed my life and how it has impacted me. But now I'm also, I mean, I share the book often. I give copies away all the time. And I met a gentleman yesterday who just went through, you know, the regimen. You know, he's got diabetes, he's got high cholesterol, and just on and on and on. And I'm like, I'm sending you a book because they're open to it. I met a lady yesterday who's, you know, she's got a very successful company, and stress is such a strong advocate for disease. And I'm sharing the book with her again, you know, as well. And I'll be visiting her. So I'll be sharing the mung bean soup diet with her. And I'm just thrilled because I know that there's help, because it's helped me, you know. So it's amazing. I mean, and it hasn't just helped physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I can't believe how much more clear I feel. It's amazing. And I watch each one of you as you guys go through this process. And like Dr. Steve said at the very beginning about Chris, that he can absolutely see the changes in her face. I see the changes in you week after week after week, you know, from the very first time you guys were on the call at the 100-day training till now. I mean, you guys are glowing. You guys have this peace about you. It's so beautiful to watch you guys interact and communicate and share your story. It's so beautiful.
So beautiful. I want to say thank you, Dr. Ashwini, for being you, for inspiring Chung and her mom, and to continue with, and that this amazing thing happens, for being a follower of this. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, Chung. Wow. I can't wait to see what's coming next. You know, I just had a chance to take her pulse and her mother's pulse in Syracuse. I'm so excited to see what comes next in your life. I'm so grateful for you. Chung, any final thoughts you want to share with anyone who may be suffering, or they have someone in their life that's in pain? Anything that you'd like to share?
Yeah, the first thing I want to share is just never give up. So that's what I did. You know, it was I took her to see so many different doctors and different type of doctors, Western, Oriental, and you know, holistic, whatever, and it didn't help. But I didn't give up. You know, eventually I was able to find the exact thing that she needs. You know, like I said, the therapy and Dr. Ashwini, both of them, their combined strength was able to provide profound healing to her. So never give up. And, you know, I will continue to read my book. I'm halfway through, by the way. And I continue to, right now, to support her practicing those mama points that you showed us, Dr. Clint. And I've been practicing those points myself. And thank you, Scott. I just want to do a shout out to you for sharing all these magical spots, that the mama spots that you share with me. Thank you so much. You're such a wonderful healer.
So beautiful. Thank you, Chung. So grateful for you. Jaina, wow, amazing, huh? So beautiful.
It is. I just have to tell you, I was in this business meeting and this lady was just getting a little riled up. And I looked at her and I said, "Do you mind if I touch your head?" And she goes, "No, go ahead." And so I did this on her. I couldn't believe I did. But after like 5 minutes, she looked at me and she goes, "I feel so much more calm." It was amazing. It was like, I love these Marma points so much. They're so great.
Yeah, my mom, she calls this the Dr. Naram Indian head squeeze. In fact, you know, as we're sharing love for mothers, I saw my own mom pop on the call, and I tried to get her to share her video so I could express love for her, but then she popped off the call real quick. So whether she's watching on Facebook Live or in the future a recording, I just want to say I love you, Mom. So happy whenever Chung or anyone shares their love for their mother. You know, so much it reminds me of you and how much I love you and how much I'm grateful for you. You know, I feel like Dr. Ram, he often says that his energy was often like a mother for people, you know, and as I've been in each of these clinics for the last couple of weeks and just meeting all of you, I felt so much love. It felt like we're all being held, you know, and this new thing is being born through us, and that it's being guided by love. And we don't know because we're doing things that have never been done before, that we've never seen done before. And so it's just trusting. And there's a science to it. Today in this call, we shared some principles of it. Next Sunday, we have a very powerful announcements, a couple of announcements that are very powerful. And I want to go deeper into what is this ancient science of miracles so that people, anyone can start doing experiments and seeing in your own life what happens. But right now, I just want to take 5 minutes for everyone to go in a breakout room. You'll just go in the breakout room and I just want you to share what did love teach you today? You know, what's one of your takeaways or something that you'll take with you from this call? Some way in which love guided you to an insight, maybe one of the stories, maybe about Denise, either Denise or Denise, maybe something Gary shared or something that was in that music, maybe something shared by Kyle or by Dr. Steven, or, you know, and you'll be in a breakout room with about 4 or 5 other people, and you just share for about 1 minute each. What was something that love pointed your mind to today? Something that what you think would be really good for you to remember. So you can go ahead and click on your screen right now and join those breakout rooms. Just about 1 or 2 minutes each person can share. You know, what did love teach you today? What were you guided by love to remember? Beautiful. Damita, I don't know if you're still here, but I want to hear from you. Go ahead and share with me. I don't know if you can share your video or turn on your video.
I don't know. I'm trying to, but
Okay.
I want to say thank you very much and thank my daughter. This was my first time meeting you, and she was jealous. I'm trying to. I think I could bring it in now. I'm not sure, but my daughter Santrice, I know she's listening. She's in Norway, and I love you both because just these 3 days, I feel so much better. I have to say thank you so much. And I'm trying to get in with I'm reading my book. I just started. And thanks for signing it. And I hope to finish this journey with you down the road. And I'm really happy. And I wish I can bring you in, but I'm not good with this. Dr. Clint, I'm trying. I don't know if you could see me in that, but I'm trying to get that.
I can't see you, but I can hear you, Damita, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here. So grateful for your daughter and so grateful for the power. I hope you heard Denise's story because Denise's story can be yours. And we'll make sure you're connected in that very, very powerful way.
Okay, and I also want to thank you for sharing your story about your sister because I too didn't want to live and trying to come back and have a productive life.
Oh, thank you so much, Damita.
Thank
so
you,
grateful. Love you so much and looking forward to seeing you soon. So beautiful. Anyone else that's still in the main room? I don't know, Jolene, I just see you here and I'm just wondering if you can unmute yourself and share.
Clint, I'm still in the main.
What did love help you remember today? Jolene?
Hi, Dr. Clint. How are you today?
Good.
I'm just going through the 100-day course and everything, just really appreciating everything in my life and feeling 100 times better after the 13 weeks that we've been learning all the techniques and the way to eat and everything like that. So very, very happy.
So beautiful. And anything from today's call that inspired you in particular, something you want to remember?
Well, one thing that I remember, one thing for me that I learned a long time ago is if you give the body the right information, the body will heal itself. And so I think the ancient secrets is giving the body the right info so that people can get healed. And I think that's what I take away from today.
Oh, powerful. Thank you so much, Jolene. Kyle?
Hey, Clint. Yeah, I was just going to say, I just got booted out of my Zoom as we were going to the breakout room. So I don't know if there's still time to go into a room or not. Otherwise, I'll just hang out here.
Absolutely. Well, actually, just go ahead and anything from today that love, anything that love that helped you remember from today's call? After this, we'll go to Robin Lee, then we'll go to Peggy, and we'll go to Ken and Stephen and Carol. We'll just each like 1 minute real quick, something that love taught you today.
Okay. What love is teaching me, showing me, guiding me. Two things come through. One of them is, of even receiving my own medicine, of the deeper devotion to the healing path, specifically for my body, my physical body, my biology. So of going into this week, I want to do a detox, and I just got the herbs from the trip. So I want to, put those to really good use, to do mung bean and herbs, to see what kind of transformation I can really do, especially with, a training regimen, as my goal is to always burn fat and build muscle. So putting more focus into my body. And then the second thing would be to practice on sharing my voice more, activating the throat chakra more of what I have to express, share, and play.
I love that. That's so awesome. So beautiful. Thank you, Kyle. I'm excited for you to do that. Let's go to Robin Lee.
Okay, so this is my first call that I have been on. I've been reading the book just for maybe a week or so. I got it, and it was kind of like magic. Last night at 12:30 at night or something, I saw the email that this call was happening, and so I thought, oh well, I could get up at 8 in the morning for that. And so I'm on, and it's really a joy to hear every single story that people who had no hope, or were in a dire situation, wind up having basically what's miracles to the everyday person happening. And I'm a health and longevity coach, and so it's part of my, oh well, this is obviously part of my path to say, if somebody else said that you have no hope, then there's still hope.
It's so funny. I want to congratulate you for waking up at 8 a.m. This morning, I got a message from someone that learned that the call was at 8 a.m. and they sent me a message back saying, that's so early in the morning in the California. Why are you excluding such a large portion of your audience? Are you mental? I sent me this message. I just laughed. I'm like, okay, that's all right.
I actually thought it was really a great to do a 8 a.m. Sunday morning would be this is when you really have an opportunity to heal on a Sunday morning.
I like that. That's beautiful.
True. That's beautiful.
All right, let's go to Peggy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you for joining us, everybody who's on the call. It's such an honor to have you with us. And so thank you for sharing, Robin. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you come over and over again. So Peggy, I think you have some exciting news too. You just finished the 30 days?
Well, I finished it on the 16th of March. And so I just did a 7-day, was trying to do it with my son, but unfortunately he lasted 2 days and didn't feel good and went out at midnight to Wendy's. But at least he got the first day fasting and he got 1 day, but he didn't hang in there. Anyway, I did. And I just went out to the barn early this morning, and the worker there, he said, wow, Peggy, you really dropped some weight, didn't you? And he didn't know what I was doing. He thought maybe I was sick or something, where I dropped all the weight. And I said, no, I just did this 30-day detox. And he said, well, do you feel okay? And when everybody asks me, how do I feel? I say, first of all, I feel 20 years younger. So it's maybe 1 pound per year. But I said, Peggy's back. So Peggy's been somewhere else, I guess, all these 2 years. And so I'm really grateful and thankful that Peggy is back. And I'm so excited.
I love that feeling of Peggy is back. Yes.
Yeah.
So cool.
So thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. What a powerful call today, and one of the very first principles of this ancient science for miracles is just having hope that something is possible, that the future can be better than the past, that something can change, Dr. Naram even used that as a definition of old versus young. You're old if you think the future is not going to get better. You're young if you have a hope inside of your heart, you know, that your future can get better and better and better. And so it's so beautiful to be on this call with everyone. Even as I see the setting behind me, all these gifts that came, beautiful gifts that came from different people, this beautiful blanket that came from Catherine. I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you. Love will teach you. It just says it all around. This, you know, last time we talked about the lotus flower. And right after the call last Sunday, someone had just completed this recently. I don't know if she's on the call right now, but I just want to thank you for this beautiful watercolor that came. And then when I was in New Jersey, Shilpi came and she created this amazing, I don't know if you can see it over here, but this amazing, she did a hand dot, this lotus painting. And then her daughter created this beautiful thing. There's two Dr. Clint Rogers from Ava A, and has a smiley face, a heart, and a flower here. It's so awesome. It just reminds me. Oh yeah, and then Ellie's daughter, Ashira. Ashira means I raise my voice in song, a song of praise, basically to God, to divine. She created this thing that we're going to give to the orphan kids in Nepal. And then Catherine also, all over, she had these beautiful things. I love you and I'm with you. So when I'm feeling this whole abundance of love, the abundance of love that was on this call, and I'm so excited for next Sunday. We have some very special announcements. We'll go even deeper into this so you can do some experiments at home about applying certain principles. When you align your life with those principles, like miracles are inevitable. You want to say something, Mooney?
Yes, I wanted to ask you that, I mean, it's so beautiful and heartwarming each minute. I wanted to ask, is there an option to adopt children from Nepal? Is there? Or...
Yeah, really great question, Mooney. And we can talk about that more in detail. Yeah, beautiful question. Thank you for asking that. And I'll tell you what, you can adopt me.
You're mine already. You're mine already.
Okay, good. I like having lots of powerful mothers. So thank you.
There you go.
Mooney, I love that you're on this call. Every time I see you, I feel so, so happy.
I am there always. Cannot miss it.
Yeah. So many powerful things are coming in these upcoming months. I'm just feeling it's likely you'll want to be a part of it, not only for yourself, but you never know, like Chung, who in your life will be suffering, will need help, and you'll have the tools and the knowledge to know how to help them. First of all, you'll have the confidence that there is a solution. And second of all, you'll know where to go. I know she mentioned, Chung mentioned being able to contact Dr. Ashwini. I don't know, Jana, if you can put in the chat or someone can put the link. I just want to make sure everyone knows where they can book a consultation with one of the doctors in India if they feel inspired or they have someone they need to consult with on some very practical thing. The main thing I want to say in concluding this call is I just want to express gratitude, first of all, to Dr. Naram, for being with us, for really being with us. He didn't leave us, he left us with so much, and he's staying with us. It feels like very much to me in my heart. If anything has convinced me of it, this tour, this very powerful pulse consultation tour, and all of the powerful love that was manifested in so many ways, and the incredible deep healing experiences that people just came and shared with me, one after another after another. Oh, Mooney, you have something else you want to share? I think you'll have to unmute yourself again. Just one sec. You can unmute yourself. You're muted, so you just have, oh, there you go.
So I want to say, if you remember when we met first, where did we meet?
In Toronto, I believe.
Where?
Oh, in India?
Where? You came for dinner to my house with the whole group, Toronto. And on the phone, I asked you, there are 2-3 supplements which I'm out. He said, I'll just bring it. You brought the supplements. You came with the whole team and to my house for dinner. I won't believe. That was a miracle. That was a miracle.
Yeah, one thing that a lot of people have said is they want to have some live event together. So maybe we can all show up at your house in Toronto and you can make dinner for everybody.
Yes. Anytime. My house was that for Dr. Naram always,
And not only that, but they played amazing music, amazing, beautiful music. Chris, I think I saw you and Linda together in a screen. Wow.
Hi, Dr. Clint.
Amazing. Wow.
Linda wanted to talk for a minute. Would that be okay?
Well, for Linda, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Clint.
Hey.
I just wanted to speak on behalf of my aunt. She enjoyed her pulse consultation with you. And after a couple of days, she said that she was starting to feel so much better. And she's a woman of faith, and she hasn't really been out too much just because of her autoimmune condition. And she just wanted you to know that she was going to church today, and she was really feeling great and feeling good. She's starting to eat better. And this week she's going to start eating the mung bean soup.
Wow. That makes me so happy. It makes me
She
so
said
happy.
she's tired of doing or talking about it. She wants to be about it.
Ah, I love that. And how powerful that the ancient secrets can help all of us. You know, it's so universal, but can help someone feel well enough that they can go to church.
Yeah.
You know, that is so powerful. It makes me so happy. And also, I just want to say, I just want to thank all of you on this call. When I see your pictures, when I hear your voice, when I've met you in person, or I'm just meeting you for the first time, like the beautiful woman who just spoke. This is her first call ever. You know, Robin. I see the divine in you. You know, and I love that in this space, as we lean more and more into that love, all of us can be more and more awakened to that inside of us. And so in light of that, if anyone else has anything really that they feel is burning inside of them they want to say along those lines, you can just unmute yourself and share. I'll just give like 1 minute or a couple minutes where people.
Okay. I love you. I'm with you.
I love you. I'm with you.
Thank you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Love
Me too. I love you. I'm with you.
Thank you, Dr. Clint.
Dr.
Sweeney. Thank you, Gary.
I'm with you.
I see all of you.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Chris.
Love you, and I'm with you.
Dr. Clint.
I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Thank you, Esther Francis. Thank you, Ellie. Dr. Michael.
With you.
Love you.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, Rajani.
Thank you.
Love you, Esther Francis.
I love you.
Thank you, Divyashi.
That is so amazing. I love you and I'm with you. It looks like Marcel has something he wants to share. You know, some people may have to leave, but Marcel, you want to share something?
Yeah, first I just want to say I love how everybody looks today. They're so vibrant, beautiful. That's what I'm getting from the love. But when it comes to the moonbeam soup, just wanted to mention for people who are starting it, in it, or wherever they're at with that, because this came up in the call, that if you're coming from a negative point, like, I don't like moonbeam soup, there must be something wrong with me, or this is really hard for me. Ask your Ayurvedic doctor what you can do to change that, because if you're living in a place of negativity, that's going to create more havoc on your body. And that's just not a good framework to go from. So I was wondering if you could do a little touch on that a little bit, Dr. Clint, and give some people advice how to get over that challenge, because it might be hard. Our bodies are going through changes. It might not be the most pleasant thing, but we don't want to be living in a state of negativity either. So I was just wondering if you could touch on that. Thank you.
That's great, Marcel. I'm glad you did that. So some people don't go for an entire week with just thinking that they don't like mung soup or that something may be wrong with them. You know, the first time some people have mung soup, they don't like it. Jana was one of those. The first time she had it, she's like, you know, but there's ways in which you can make it. In fact, the mung is pretty innocent, you know, it's powerful, but how you make it makes a difference. And so, you know, we just created a document called Become a Master at Making Miraculous Mung, you know, and if you want access to that document, I don't know if John is still on the call, but we can send you the link directly to that. Basically, it helps you learn how to make sure you don't get gas or bloat, and you can create it so delicious, you know, and start to experiment with how you make it and making sure that you make it in such a way that you just love it, you know, and there's so many cases I've heard of people that haven't liked it at first. Nothing's wrong with you. There's just maybe a different way in which you can make it. Also, in some cases, there's lots of possibilities too. It's not like Hmong is the only path to healing. There's lots of options. This whole system is so robust and so dynamic that it can help people even in areas of the world in which there's no Hmong beings. Maybe you live in an area where there's no Hmong soup. So I want you just to, if you're interested in that link, you can message us. You can contact Monica at myancientsecrets.com. We'll give you that document and you can just experiment. Try some experiments. See how delicious you can make it. And then you can also have a Hmong party. Have everyone make Hmong soup and you taste each other's soup and say, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Yeah, and just what Marcel talks about, not just what you feed here, but what you feed here is so important. If you even asking questions like, what's wrong with me? Your brain has to find an answer, but instead, what's divine about you? What's awesome about you? And honoring you. If you don't like it, you didn't like that soup. You didn't like that particular batch. Good. Be honest with yourself about that. But then say, how can I make it even better? Ask yourself that question. And then your brain has to find answers. You find solutions. You find a way. How can I make this life as enjoyable as possible, including the things I'm using to nourish my body, to nourish my mind, my emotions, and just by joining this call, lots of those miracles are going to happen even without you knowing it. Little shifts will happen inside of you. Dr. Ram, he would say it this way. He says, if you're just being around me, you're not going to understand what's happening because your mind isn't attuned to it. He's like, but just by being in the presence, something amazing will happen. This little seed will be planted inside of you and it will grow. And pretty soon you'll be happy and you won't even know why. It's just going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And so for anyone who's on this call, watching this recording, do yourself, invest in yourself or give yourself the gift of continuing to join these calls in order to just help get to that vibration in your heart in which certain things are possible and you can be happy, for no reason, so beautiful, or for every reason. All right, Claudia, I think you wanted to say
Yes, I do. It was so incredible to meet everybody and you, Dr. Clint, and then the Marmas. And I have to say that I had a miracle of an ancient secret, which was when you did the Marma and I told you that this left arm had an atrophy because of a botched biopsy for 50 years. That's like, a lot. 50 years.
50 years.
50, yeah, 1971. Yeah.
So you hadn't moved that arm for 50 years?
Well, I could move it to like here.
Wow,
yeah, because I feel the resistance, but see? So it's still getting better and better, because it's adjusting. But wow. So thank you. And to everybody I met, you're all such beautiful people. Linda, hello. And Dr. Stephen and Kyle. I mean, wow, just some beautiful, beautiful people. So I love meeting you. So
that's amazing. I'm so glad you shared that. Some situations that have 50 years of thinking you can't do something and it'll never happen.
Yeah.
And that will lift it almost 50% higher. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So cool, Claudia.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing those beautiful creams that we could give away. What's the name of the cream called again? Claudia.
Claudia's Dream Cream. Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah. So it came out of a necessity when people had Lyme and Morgellons, and so did I. And then I had to help people with their skin, because the Morgellons can have some. So anyway, but now it works for lots of things. So
I love it. I love in which you're allowing spirit to work through you. You're innovating things and creating them in such a beautiful way. And I can't wait to see what happens in these next months for you, months and years. Thank you, Claudia, for sharing that. And so fun to meet Frank. I don't know if he's there, but give him a big hug for me.
I will. Yes, he's downstairs right now, but yeah, he loved it. He loved it.
Beautiful. I see a couple other people raising their hand. And how about we go to Meenakshi? Meenakshi? Oh, I think I just muted you. I'm so sorry. You may have to unmute yourself again, Meenakshi. And do you have a way to turn?
Yeah. Hello. I got introduced to this through Narasimhan, my classmate. I asked introduced to this from my Narasimhan from Canada, who was my earlier classmate 38 years ago from engineering college. we were casually speaking, and I asked him, is there a way to reduce weight? He said, join this course, and he sent me the link, and he said moong dal soup. So I had asked him for the recipe, and then he said, send the PDF. So, and I've been hearing a lot of conversation about the moong dal soup. I would like to have that and get to know more about it. And, and I also wanted to know if there is any cure for thyroid or, anxiety and all that. So I would like to be a part of this, and it's a great community. As I see here, a lot of happy faces, and it's great to be a part of this. Thanks, Narasimhan, for introducing.
Meenakshi, you came to the right place. That's so so exciting. So I'm gonna put in the chat a link where you can book a 30-minute consultation that someone can personalize and go through all of the things with you and for you. And so I'm just putting it in the chat right now, and you'll just have such a powerful experience. And then in a month, 2 months, 3 months, you'll share your awesome, powerful story.
Okay. I would like to reduce as much weight as possible.
Great, you came to the right place. Denise at the beginning lost 80 pounds before. She was using a walker. Now she has full mobility. And not only mobility in her body, but in her mind, her heart, her soul. It's so powerful. All right, I see Sienna. Sienna, you want to share something? Welcome.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see.
Okay, great. I'm so excited to be here. This is like my first call, and I'm calling or joining in all the way from Nigeria, so I'm really excited. It's a little dark. There's no power, electricity. Don't worry, the country will soon have some electricity and light. But I just want to say that I really am grateful for this opportunity to actually be speaking with everyone in the Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer community. I haven't gotten the book yet, but I've been following you, Dr. Clint, on YouTube, and it's such an honor to be speaking with you, even though it's via Zoom. Like, I'm trying not to freak out, but I'm really excited to. I'm really excited to be speaking to you. I stumbled on your TED Talk, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, and then your video with Dr. Naram, The Secret to Getting What You Want, and then all the mamas and everything. So I've been trying to practice that on my own. But then one day I just go online, I received this email from you, the email list that Dr. Naram has passed on. So I was really shocked, and I'm like, oh my God, as in, how are we going to cope? Like, what of all those things that he has to teach? And I'm like, I think he passed everything on to Dr. Clint Roger. So we're safe. I'm already missing him, even though I didn't meet him in person. So I'm just glad that he trained enough people to be able to carry his work on. So I want to thank you for all you're doing. I want to thank you for inspiring everyone to focus on healing and to just go within themselves and do what's right. So for me, what I would like to know, if you could answer, is I would really like to know how I can be part of the program, like training, because I'm really, really interested in how I could become a teacher or a healing practitioner.
Wow,
with
so
the program.
powerful. Very powerful question. You want to know how you can learn deeper and how you can become an instrument of healing in the lives of other people. Really great.
Yes,
so
with the program.
For that, join next Sunday.
Okay, so I have to wait till next Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, cool. In the meantime, if you go to myancientsecrets.com, I'll type it in right now, myancientsecrets.com. And when you go there, you'll see, oops, I accidentally typed it in a private message. When you go to myancientsecrets.com, you'll see a link to the 100-day course, but it's just a place right now where you can be on the waiting list, basically, if it's ever offered again. But next Sunday, we'll have a special announcement along these lines, and so don't miss it. And so grateful you're joining us from Nigeria. Grateful you found.
Thank you so much.
And Zoom and internet, so you could be joining us. Wow.
It's available here. Available. It's just that it fluctuates time to time, but it's great.
Yeah, beautiful.
So I'm just wondering if I don't know if it's ever possible that Dr. Clint will be able to come to Nigeria to facilitate any to organize like the healing clinics that I've seen in the US and stuff.
Yeah, it's a really powerful question. And I don't know if Kyle's on this call still or Monica, but I'll put in here Monica's email address and make that request. I have a big love in my heart for Africa. The main thing is trying to figure out how we can get the herbs available in Africa. I think some are available in Mauritius, but for any requests for us to come and do any of the clinics or do anything, do pulse consultations or present, you can send it to monica@myancientsecrets.com. But I don't know, Kyle, are you interested in going to Nigeria and doing some awesome stuff there?
That sounds pretty magical. Yes, I am about it.
Yay! Thank you, Mr. Kyle.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing.
And
thank you, Dr. Clint.
Yeah, one of the people who wrote one of the introduction quotes for the book is Her Excellency Dr. Batilda Salha Burian. She's a former Tanzanian ambassador to Japan, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea.
Okay.
Her prayer, she says, I pray more people dedicate their lives to learning and sharing this ancient science to help people throughout Africa and all over the world. It's really, really powerful that you're on this call. There's no accident you're here, Sienna. And I look forward to seeing your journey.
Thank you so much, Dr. Clint. I'm really, really excited, and thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you for the opportunity.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sienna. All right, Sharon, please. Sharon brought her whole family. I met her awesome sons. They were so awesome.
I just wanted to share and reflect how much love there was in the room when I came to Syracuse and how much love you gave myself and the kids. And as a single mom who were raising boys in this energy, and I want them to tap into their intuition and their heart, it really, really touched me. Like for my teenager, when you were giving him positive feedback and you were telling him about himself, he was eating that up. And that's something that a lot of kids don't get. And so I wanted to share that when we step up and we come from love and we take them to places that we believe in, that they can also get this love and they can experience this. And so that was a huge moment for myself and for him, because he remembered it and he remembered the things that you told him. And it's different from when it comes from somebody else than it comes from your mom. Because when your mom says it, it's like, well, you're supposed to love me. So like, whatever, I don't really care what you say. But when somebody else reflects it, it's like, oh yeah, maybe that's true. Right? So that was a big deal. And even for the Marma Shakti session, I got to help out, and that was huge. Like when you say that there are things that happen that we don't see, like I felt it. When I put my hands, I could feel the surge of energy that came through. And there's so many things that we don't see that happens when we open up, that are beyond words, that are beyond explanation, which is what all these ancient secrets and healing is about. And it is about your heart. It is about coming from love, because love heals everything when you allow it. And so I'm so super grateful to have experienced it firsthand and been there and be able to bring my kids there and have them see it. Even if they sometimes think I'm crazy, like, oh, there's your spiritual stuff again. Oh, whatever. But they feel it when they're there. When they're in it in the moment, they enjoy it. You know, they're like, oh, there's your crazy stuff there, Mom. Whatever. So I want to thank you. And Kyle does give the best hugs. Oh my God, it was so good. Just
I'm gonna see real quick if I can find. Oh yeah, is it okay if I share the picture with you and your dad?
Yeah.
This is so beautiful.
Absolutely.
So here's the picture with Sharon and her dad. It's so cool. And she was just saying how happy it makes her that, you know, her dad looks, you know, like Dr. Naram in some way. You can actually see the resemblance. It's so beautiful.
That's the synchronicity that's like, oh, I feel like I'm on the right path. So I saw this when Mandy Perry was talking about her journey, like when she did the Hmong soup, and then I got the book and I saw Dr. Naram, I'm like, oh, he looks like dad. It's like, okay, this is like a sign I'm on the right path. And just everything that's in the book and the principles, like it just really speaks to my soul and my heart. Like so
powerful.
beautiful.
Well, thank you for the amazing work you're doing as a mother and as your own path, you know, honoring yourself and honoring your kids. I loved meeting your sons, and it was so fun to be with them in that space. And just all mothers, you know, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you, Dr. Naram. Thank you everyone for being on this call. You know, it's right now 1 o'clock. I see there's 100% charge on my phone. It's 1 o'clock and it's April 11th. And there's 110 people in this room. So that's a good time to just say thank you everyone for just being here, for being in the presence of possibility. And I look forward to seeing you on next Sunday's call as we go deeper into what is this ancient science for miracles, give some powerful announcements. For now, I just want to say namaskar, and I love you, and I'm with you. Love you, and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm
Love
with
you.
you.
Love you.
I'm with
you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you. And I'm with you.
I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you. And I'm with you.
Love you.
I love you so
much.
much. Please, Dr.
Love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with
I love you.